Hi guys, doing welcome to day 12 of Precalculus. Today we're going to solve by using the quadratic formula. So how do I do this? First of all, we got to know what the quadratic formula is. In day 11 I proved it, where it came from. It actually came from, what is it? It actually came from completing the square. So ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. I proved by completing the square, you're going to get this quadratic formula. You have x is equal to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, right? So hopefully that makes sense. Where did I do that? Where did I get this from? From completing square. It originated from this, okay? So if you don't know, go back to day 11, check it out. That's pretty cool, I think. So what is this? What's the main idea of this? This is like, right? Like, well, I'm applying the formula, but then what? What is it? What am I really doing? Like I mentioned, I just erased it. But it came from finding the zeros. So when you use the quadratic formula, you're trying to find the zeros of x. Okay, so today I'm just gonna freestyle things. Okay, I don't have anything prepared, so it's gonna be fun, I think. To freestyle, this is like the first time I freestyle a video, so hopefully it works out. So let's just do some random problems, see how it works. Okay, so let's do it. So let's do a x squared plus 3x plus 2. So let's use the quadratic formula. So how do I use the quadratic formula? I gotta determine this, right? So I'm gonna actually use it here. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So if you were wondering where this has come from, it came from here. Now we gotta determine what a is. A is equal to what? A is equal to 1, because nothing's in front of the x squared, so that means it's 1. Well, you can say nothing. When you don't see anything, it's really 1. So b is equal to 3 in front of x, and then c is equal to 2. Just this formula right here. Right, so now what? Applying quadratic formula, you have x is equal to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. Okay, 2 times a, which is 1. So now we simplify negative 3 plus or minus 9 minus 8. 4 times 2 is 8 all over 2. Then x is equal to negative 3 plus or minus 9 minus 8 is 1. Square root of 1 is 1, so this is 2. And then you have negative 3. If you're wondering how did I get that, square root of 1 is what? 1. Okay, so negative 3 over 2. I can separate this. This is plus 1/2. And then you have x is equal to negative 3 over 2 minus 1/2. So this is equal to negative 2 over 2, which is negative 1. This one's negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. That's it. Those are your answers. Those are your zeros. So why we use quadratic formula? To find the zeros, right? Okay, so there you go. Now let's do another one. Let's do b. All right, I'm gonna make this complicated. All right, change the problem completely. Okay, I was being sarcastic. See if you can do it applying the quadratic formula. All right, try it. Hopefully if it doesn't make sense, pause the video, look at this problem I did. Okay, so try it out if you haven't tried it. So what I do is just follow the formula. A equals 1, b is equal to negative 3 in this case, c is 2, x is equal to negative b plus or minus b squared all over 4 times a times c, that's a 1, all over 2 times a. Right, then you have x is equal to 3 plus or minus 9 minus 8 all over 2. You notice it's very similar to what I did. So minus 1 over 2. So I can separate this. This is really the same thing as x is equal to 3 plus 1 over 2. And then this is going to be x is equal to 3 minus 1 over 2. So you get 4 over 2, which is 2. This is 2 over 2, which is 1. Right? Yeah, it should be your zeros, 2 and 1. Okay, good. All right, let's do another one. All right, let's do another one. Let's do minus 4x. Yeah, why not? Let's just do something random. Yeah. Okay, let's do this. See, x squared minus 5x plus 2. Okay. So how do I do this? So basically, what I do, a is equal to x. Nope, not x. 1. B is equal to -5, C is equal to 2. So just applying the quadratic formula, x is equal to what? -b plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. That's it. So you have 5 plus or minus 25 minus 8 all over 2. So x is equal to 5 plus or minus root 17 all over 2. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. Doesn't simplify. If this was 16, then we could simplify, but square root of 17 is a prime number, so we can't do anything about that. So not only because it's a prime number, you know. Oh yeah, because it's a prime number, yeah. That's true. So that's why we can't do anything about it. Just have to leave it. And it's not a perfect square. It's probably a better word, it's not a perfect square, and it's not a prime number. So here, let's change this one. Let's make it plus. So this is d now. See if you can do it. So how do I do this? I basically what? Use the quadratic. I always do this. You don't have to if you feel like you don't. It's not necessarily if you're an advanced student. This is pre-calculus. You probably learned this in algebra 1, if not algebra 2. So it might be easy for you, which is great if it is. So I always do this because you know I can mess up sometimes. So I can do it. Feels like if I could see what an A, B, C is, it's easier for me to do it. I feel like I can not make mistakes, and not only that, I can do it faster. Just writing that extra step. You can see all I gotta do is just plug it in the formula. I already know A, B, C. Simple. So you have -5 plus or minus 25 minus 8 over 2. So x is equal to -5 plus or minus square root of 17 over 2. Okay, that's it. Right? Nothing too hard. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's do E. Alright, let's go with E. Alright, let's do x squared minus 4x. I don't know. 2x plus 6. Alright, try that. See what I get. Okay, so what should I do? You feel free to try it out. Pause the video if you need to. So you have x squared minus 2x. Oh no, I'm not sure. I was trying to think about completing a square. So a is equal to 1, b is equal to -2, c is equal to 6. Right? So this case, what do you get? You have x is equal to -b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. Right, so what do you get? You get negative 2 plus or minus 4 minus 24 all over 2. Is that correct? Okay, so this is x equal to 2 plus or minus root of 20 negative over 2. Well, I could simplify this. So negative 20 is the same thing as 2 plus or minus I. We're going to have I because we have imaginary. I went over that in day 11 if you don't know what square root of a negative number is. But this is really square root of 20i over 2. And I can break down square root of 20. So let's just do that. Square root of 20 is equal to 4 times 5. So this is really 2 root 5. So this is really the same thing as x is equal to 2 plus or minus 2 root 5i, right, all over 2. Now, you can factor out a 2, right, or divide everything by 2, so you have 1. And we'll just show that. Okay, so factor out 2, we got 1 plus or minus root 5i all over 2. Canceling out the 2, you get 1 plus or minus root 5i. That's it. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. I'll try to do f. Pause the video if you haven't tried it or it doesn't make sense to you. So f, and this becomes positive. See, you can do it. I'll change the question now. So what do? We just basically, we gotta find I keep thinking quadratic formula. I mean, it's completing the square. So today we're using quadratic formula. 6x is equal to negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So we have negative 2 plus or minus 4 minus 24 all over 2. X is equal to negative 2 plus or minus negative 20 over 2, right? If you didn't see what I did it's very similar to what I did last time. This is really negative 2 plus or minus root 2 root 5i, because this is 4 times 5. And then over 2, and I can separate these. This is basically negative 1. So I mean, divide everything by 2, we get negative 1 plus or minus 2 root 5i all over 2. That's your answer. Alright, let's do the second one. Shall we? I got time. So let's do it. Let's do a different one. Let's do just random problems. 2x squared minus plus 5x minus 1, I guess, equals 0. Oh, I should try it first, and then I'll let you try the next one. If this doesn't make sense, if you can do it yourself, try it, then that's perfect. So I'm going to do it. You have a. Let's do it. A is equal to 2, b is equal to 5, c is equal to negative 1. So x is equal to negative 5 plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. You have x equal to negative 5 plus or minus 25 minus 8 all over 4. Right? Oh, this is plus 8. Okay? Negative is positive. X is equal to negative 5 plus or minus root 33 over 4. Since 33 is not a perfect square, so we can't do anything about it. Well, we can't really do much. So root 33 is 11 times 3. They're both, can't do nothing there. So that's it. That's your answer. Voila. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So now let's try h. You know what I'm gonna do now, right? You figure it out probably. What was that? Positive or negative? Fine. Alright, so try that out. It should be very similar. So find A is equal to 2, B is equal to -5, C is equal to -1, X is negative B, plus or minus B squared minus 4 times A times C all over 2 times A, right? So we have 5 plus or minus 25. This is going to be plus 8, negative and negative is positive, all over 4. We have x is equal to 5 plus or minus root 33 over 4. That's it. That's all you got to do. All right, something I didn't mention to you guys, we're going to try to find the discriminant now. So we finish this. All right, let's finish this. Finish that. Okay, so finding discriminant. So you see here, we have this square root of b squared minus a squared. Let me just do that. So b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so there's 3 conditions. One is if it's positive. If it's positive, you have 2 real solutions. If it's negative, or if it's equal to 0, we have 1 real solution. Oh, we didn't do a problem like that, but we'll do one right now. And then we have, when it's negative, we have 2 complex solutions. So if somebody's asking you find the discriminant, right, all you gotta say is these. So the question is find the discriminant. So we're not solving the quadratic formula, we're just finding the discriminant. So you notice here, I'm going to erase this, is if this is positive inside, then you have 2 real solutions. If this inside is equal to 0, you have 1 real solution. If you have a negative number inside, you get you get imaginary or complex solution. That's a complex. So I'm going to erase this. So erase this, erase this, we don't add that. We don't need this, we don't need that. Okay. Okay, so let's do a problem. Okay, so let's do one. I have this b squared x squared minus 5x plus 2. I don't know, it's equal to 0. So find the discriminant, right? So that's what we're doing. Find the discriminant, applying this rule. So what is b? B is -5. We square it, minus 4 times a times c, right, times 2. So this is 25. That's a -5. Minus 8, which is 17. As you notice, this is positive, so that means we have what? 2 real solutions. Okay, so let's do another one. Okay. X squared minus 4x plus 4 is equal to 0. So try that out. Okay. So x minus 2. Oh no, I don't know what I did. So a is equal to, oh no, applying this, b squared minus 4ac. We're always using that. Okay. So, and we don't even need to set equal to 0, but just to get the idea. So in this case, we just want to find how many solutions we have. So b squared is -4, right? Applying this formula, I'm going to erase this. No, it's fine. I just want this, right? Applying this formula, b squared minus 4 times a times c. right? So what do we get? This is 16 minus 16 is equal to 0. So what does that mean if it's equal to 0? You have one real solution. Okay? So there you go. So applying that, hopefully that makes sense. Now, e squared minus 4ac, right? So applying this, let's do another one. You have x squared, oh wait, not 2x squared minus 4x plus 30 plus 40 or something. Okay, oh, let's not do 40, let's do 30, 39. Okay, so what should I do? You apply this, so we have b squared equals 0. It should be equal to 0. So b squared, that's negative 4 squared minus 2 times minus 4. And a is what? A is 2, c is 39. We have 16 minus 8 times 39. What is 8 times 39? That's 8 times 40 is 320. 320 minus 8 is 312. Right? So this is negative 296. So you know this is a negative number. That means you have two complex solutions. Okay, that's it. Okay, so that's it. Is that correct? 4 times 8 times 40 is 320. 312. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Two complex solution. So it's negative, and then you have two complex solution. That's all I'm trying to say. All right. So now we're gonna do some practice problems. I did with a lot of them already, so we're not gonna do much. I'm not gonna do too much practice problem. So hopefully you get this. So let's do one. If you don't get it, it's okay. 1 x squared minus 5x plus 1, 2 x squared minus x plus 3, and 3 x minus 4, 6x plus 9 equals 0, equals 0, equals 0. So try this out, pause the video if you need to. I'll make sure I remember these. I don't. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm gonna have to keep this on the side because I don't forget. Probably gonna know. I'll probably know it. Just make sure though. I don't think I got it. Okay. X squared minus x plus 3. Yeah, I got it. Alright, so let's try the first one. Okay, so you have A is equal to 1, B is equal to negative 5, C is equal to 1. Alright, so try this out if you have it. So x is equal to negative 5 plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So you have x is equal to 5 plus or minus 25 minus 4 all over 2. So x is equal to 5 plus or minus root 21 over 2. So 21 is root 21 7 times 3. Can't do anything there, so we just have to leave it like that. So that's it. 5 plus or minus root 21 over 2. Okay. Now let's do the next one. Hopefully you copied it. If not, it's okay. Try it out. So now we're at 2 x squared minus x plus 3 equal to 0. Pause the video if you haven't tried it. Okay, so what do? A is equal to 1, b is equal to negative 1, c is equal to 3, x equal to negative 1, plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a, 2 times a, yeah. So we have x is equal to 1 plus or minus 1 minus 12 all over 2. So you have x is equal to 1 plus or minus negative 11 over 2. Sorry about that. So you have x is equal to 1 plus or minus root 11 over I over 2. That's it. That's all you gotta do. So number 3. Number 3. So, oh man. 3, x squared minus 6x plus 9, right? I'm pretty sure that's what I wrote. Okay. If not, this is a different problem, okay? I don't know, we just do this. I'm pretty sure this is what I wrote, okay? So what do? A is pause the video if you haven't tried it. A equals 1, B equals negative C, C equals 9, right? So try it out if you haven't tried it. So you have x is equal to negative B plus or minus b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2 times a. So you have x is equal to 6 plus or minus 36 minus 4 times 1 times 36 is equal to 0. As you notice, look, 6 plus or minus square root of 0 is 0, right? So really, x is equal to 6 over 2. So square root of this is just 0, right? So which is equal to 3. That's it. So your only solution is 3. Later on, we're going to be talking about the multiplicity. This is actually x equals 3. It doesn't mean that there's only 1 0. It's actually 2 zeros because why? It's second degree, so you should have 2 zeros. So there's actually 3 with multiplicity of 2. Later on, we're going to be talking about that. But right now, just have x equals 3. Okay. So here, find the discriminant. Find the discriminant. Right, go back to the video if it doesn't make sense to you. So let's do it. Was that 3? That was 4. X squared minus 4x plus 1. So I'm not sure if I'm writing that correctly. Let's look at the book. But find the discriminant. Okay, yeah, that's correct. Yes, I got it. I thought, you don't need to set it equal to 0, but that wouldn't make sense. Okay, so we do have to set equal to 0. So let's just find a. Now applying that formula, b squared minus 4ac. So b squared is negative 4 squared minus 4 times a times c. Not c. C is what? C is a number, which is 1. Equals to what? Is equal to what? 16 minus 4 equals to 12. So that's positive. So what do you get? 2 real solutions, right? Okay, let's do the next one. So it's positive. You should get 2 real solutions. Let's try another one. Number 5. X squared minus 10x plus 25 is equal to 0. Try it out if you haven't tried it. Okay, so what? So basically, b squared minus 4ac, always applying that formula. So negative 10 squared minus 4 times a times c equal to what? I just write it here. I don't know why I keep doing that. So I just write it on the bottom. This is 100 minus 100. That's equal to 0. So that means what? One real solution. Real solution. Okay. Okay, so there you go. Now, this is another one. So this is the last one. 6. You have x squared minus 2x plus 6 plus 5. You know, 5. Okay, so applying the formula b squared minus 4ac, we want to find the discriminant. So we have, what is this? Negative 2 squared minus 4 times a times c. Times c. Right? So we have 4 minus, this is the 4. 4 minus 20, which is negative 16, which is less than 0. So that means you have 2 complex solution. So that's it. Let's finish for today. So today, what do? We learn how to use the quadratic formula. If you're wondering where it came from, it's from completing the square. Because quadratic formula, we're trying to find the zeros. That's why we're using it. And also finding the discriminant. So we want more practice problems. This is going to be page 53. Oh, not page 53. Page, okay, 1 second. Page 55. 53 to 73 odd. So odd. So what book am I using? I'm using this 5th edition Stewart book. So if you want more practice problems, I got this at Amazon for $20. Okay.